Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for being here tonight. The last meeting of the 2018-2019 year, and that's where I'm sitting, Steve. The May meeting is a real treat as we take a look at the history of our chapter, we reflect on the years that have gone by, and we really have a chance to look at the strength of our chapter, the depth of our chapter. This is really a result of the stewardship that has been provided at the helm of the presidents over the past many years. This chapter is now more than 65 years old. We've done a lot. We've come a long way. But I would like to thank all of the past presidents and all of the volunteers who continue to work tirelessly, to work in a very dedicated fashion, time and time again, and they continue to support ASHRAE. So thank you. I'd like to begin by introducing the Board of Governors and the Executive. We have Jacob Huff, Governor. Chris Frawley, Governor. Céline Barabeau, Governor. Peter Shawwood, Governor. I don't think Peter's here this evening. Joe Delaval, Governor. Now, Joe was here, but Joe had to leave. He's a little bit under the weather. He was attending his bachelor party over the weekend. So he was here, though. He made it for the picture. So, you know, kudos to that. And I appreciate that dedication. We have Adrienne Matani, our Secretary. We have Adam Moons, Treasurer. Aaron Dobson, our President-elect. Adam Graham, our past President. And I, Daniel Redmond, am your President for the 1819 ASHRAE year. I'd like to call upon Adrienne Matani to introduce the guest speaker.
So the guests for the evening are Norman Bergeron, Caleb Cox, Brian Eustace, Michael McLeod, Clem Gunau, Thomas Green, Stephen Hopper, Tyler Ness, Miriam Sihlan, Avery Titico, Jim Henry, Justin Allaire, Ryan Lee, Jason Stone, Connor Patterson, Liam O'Brien, Peter Josie, Eddie Charo, and Al Biliot. Thank you very much.
I would now like to call upon Andrew Brown to welcome the new members.
We have 3 members tonight, new members: Karen Huberto, Ashley P. Shea, and Rod McInnes. Thank you.
Now I'd like to call upon Aaron Dobson, our RP Chair, to speak to us about research promotion.
All right. So as we conclude this year for our research promotion, we were given a very tight, very steep target, $34,300. And every year when the research promotion chair attends centralized training, they always look at Ottawa to say, well, what can you guys do more than last year? Because our region is kind of given a steep target. I think this year was almost 8% increase, and Ottawa took a very big burden because we've always been very successful because of the generosity of our community in Ottawa. So I'm pleased to say that this year we've actually exceeded our target. I know it shows that we've raised almost $34,000, but some last minute donations just came in, and we're well ahead of our target year to date. So thank you very much, everybody who's So I'd like to thank our research promotion team. So that consists of Frank Band, Rob Lefebvre, Mike Swain, Dan Redmond, Adam Graham, Abby Saunders, and George Amari. Thank you very much. Surround of applause for this. The campaign does end next month, so you do have time to donate if you have not so already. Tonight we have a couple raffles tonight. They are for red-black tickets. So the first raffle is for 4 red-black tickets for the North Stands field level, so it includes food. Plus there's also $100 included, which includes your alcoholic drinks. And the second draw is for a pair of red black tickets. So later today we'll be drawing for the 2 set of tickets. So I'll be making the rounds during dinner. If you haven't bought your tickets, come see me. They're usually $20 for 5 tickets. And good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Aaron. And as I'm sure many people in this room know, the ASHRAE Research Promotion Campaign really is the mechanism by which ASHRAE is able to further develop the codes and standards that we in the HVAC in our industry use every day in our professional lives. I would now like to call upon Adam Graham to speak to us about golf. Summer is here. We're just about there. And Adam likes golf.
It's true.
And he's going to tell you how much he likes golf.
Just gotta find the right spot here. Pokemon Go or something. All right. Any second. Just
I was prepared for this. So here we go. The date for golf this year, June 25th. We're going to be at the marshes again, and it's an 11 a.m. registration. The one difference this year is we're going to have a barbecue lunch for everyone involved this year. So try to show up at 11. It will be a noon shotgun start. Spots are full right now. I think there still are some sponsorship opportunities. So if you are interested, please reach out to Rod Lansfield or any one of us, and we can put you in touch. Looking forward to seeing you all there. It's always a great event. So thank you all, and we'll see you then. Thanks.
I'd now like to call upon Michael Elliman from EnviroAir to speak to us about his tabletop display.
Thank you, Dan. So our tabletop today dealt with Nimbus Advanced Cooling. So for those who do not know, Nimbus Advanced Cooling is a manufacturer of adiabatic coolers. Adiabatic coolers are essentially dry coolers which have an adiabatic spray upstream of the coil, which allows you to get the lower temperatures similar to what you'd get with a cooling tower. So it allows you to run your building in a more efficient manner while eliminating at the same time the need for chemical treatment and filtration and substantially cutting your water consumption. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to flag me down and come see me after the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael. Our theme this evening is history. I'd like to call upon Ryan Dickinson to come to the front and talk about the history display we have.
Thanks. So this year, as part of history, one of the things that we've done is we digitized a couple of past VHS cassette tapes. And one of the ones that's playing today, this is now a digital copy, but it's the ASHRAE 40th anniversary chapter meeting from November 1992. The meeting was held at the Prescott Hotel during the presidency of Neil Armstrong. And what's really unique about this chapter meeting is that at the time, several of the past presidents were in attendance, and they gave brief speeches on some of their stories from ASHRAE, how they got involved in, and some of their experiences. Some of the notable names from that presentation are Jake Klassen, George Carskellen, Bob McKee, Ray Young, Roy Beckman, Dalton McIntyre, John Dugan, Simon Joel, Paul Baker, who was also the historian at the time, Bill McKinnon, Byron Landry, and Chris Raleigh. So again, it's a very interesting video to watch through, and we'll be looking at uploading those to the website and to YouTube in the near future. In addition to that, we have a couple of the other memorabilia from our history, some photo albums and some ASHRAE manuals from 1942. So with that, I'd like to welcome all of our past presidents to tonight's meeting. We have 18 past presidents in attendance with us tonight, and as a tradition, I'd like to invite them all up for a group photo and champagne toast by Kathy Godin. So we'll start with the more recent past presidents. So Adam Graham, past president from 2017 to 2018. Abby Saunders, 2016 to 2017. George Marmari, 2015 to 2016. Steve Moons, 2014 to 2015. Rod Potter, 2013 to 2014. Stephen Lynch, 2011 to 2012. Christine Kemp, 2010 to 2011. Glenn McLean, 2006 to 2007. Kathy Godin, 2004 to 2005. Lanchi Duyan Beats, 2002 to 2003. Frank Ban, 2001 to 2002. Gemma Kerr, 1996, 1997. Pierre de Gagne, 1994 to 1995. Ross McIntyre, 1993 to 1994. Chris Raleigh, 1991 to 1992. Simon Joel, 1987 to 1998. Rudolf Jetzelsberger, 1974 to 1975. And George Karskalin, 1969 to 1970. Is there anyone I might have missed?
Tell me, who are all these old people here?
Oh, Roy Beckman. Sorry.
We're just going to be a while. Don't mind us.
Okay, so coming out in front here, maybe come down onto the bus stuff, would that be better for you? Down here? Come down?
Those have been drinking, stay on the ground.
Okay, just these things get started out. Keep going down, please, if you can. This is where it's better.
time I said
Yeah, don't count.
raise our glasses. Everybody raise your glasses.
My toasts are really short and sweet. So I'd like to say good evening, ASHRAE members, past presidents, and honored guests. Thank you again for giving me the honor of delivering this toast. With so many ASHRAE Ottawa-Valley chapter past presidents in attendance, it's overwhelming. We always get such a great crowd, about 20 people. But it's really special that we have George here tonight from 1969, and this is 2019. So in a manner of speaking, it's 50 years of past presidents being represented here this evening. So this speaks to the longevity of the chapter, to our past successes, and our hopes for the future. And I would ask you now to please raise your glass in this toast to the past presidents.
Thank you very much, Kathy. And again, a big thank you to all of the past presidents who have made it here tonight. Our last order of business before we get into dinner is to have Abby Saunders up here to present the awards for the 2018-2019 year. I think we're ready to go. Thank you.
Hi everyone. As Honors and Awards Chair, it's my pleasure to help recognize our membership in a special way this evening. The first award that we're going to make our way through tonight is the Company Recognition Plaques. These are a worthwhile initiative established by a former past president that we are pleased to carry on with. The Company Recognition Plaques recognize firms and organizations that support ASHRAE by allowing staff to participate in some official capacity in ASHRAE, be it as a committee chair, BOG member, or part of the executive. As we know, ASHRAE is a volunteer organization, and to keep our chapter running as smoothly as it does, it can require big investment in time by our members. These company recognition plaques demonstrate how appreciative we are of the time and efforts our members put forth and their organization's support. I'd like to ask if a representative from each firm can please come forward to receive their award when announced. And before we start, you'll notice that one firm will be receiving a large plaque since they're new recipients of the award this year. Many of the other firms are just going to receive a small plate to install on their existing plaques since they've been continuing ASHRAE supporters. Our first organization this evening is Long Hill Energy. Someone from Long Hill here?
James was here, but he didn't have to go.
Okay. So Steve will accept that on his behalf. Next we have Master Group. Carleton University. JP2G. Johnson Controls. Weston Rutherford. Walmart Ventilation. Total HVAC. Morrison Hirschfield. Smith and Anderson. Goodkey Weedmark. National Research Council. Ainsworth, Canada. HTS Engineering. NBPA. Thanks again to all the organizations for your continued commitment and support to the success and growth of our chapter. Now we'll move on to the Student Award. This is something we try to award annually, recognizing that students are the future of our industry. The Student Award is presented to an ASHRAE student member based on overall performance and achievement for the year. The award is presented in memory of a past president, and I'd like to call on Liz Primo to introduce this year's recipient.
Good evening, my name is Liz Primo and I'm the Student Activities Chair for the chapter. It's my honor to announce that this year's student recipient is Jason Bursell from Carleton University. Jason has been the student branch president for many years, and during this time, the branch has grown. He organized many activities during the year, including the career fair and a talk by Sheila Hayter, the society president. I'd like to congratulate Jason on this accomplishment and thank him for all of his hard work. Unfortunately, Jason is not available here tonight, so I'll be presenting his award later this week. Thank you.
Thanks, Liz, and congratulations, Jason. Our last award this evening is the Award of Excellence, presented in honor of two long-standing chapter members who passed away too soon. The Baker Oaks Award of Excellence is presented to acknowledge a member's dedication and outstanding service to the Ottawa-Valley chapter. This year's recipient has been a chapter member since 2015, has been involved in various capacities, including GGAC, Program Chair, CTTC Chair, stepping up to attend several CRCs on short notice, and most recently serving as a member of the Board of Governors. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce this year's recipient of the Baker Oaks Award of Excellence, Jacob Huff. Thanks everyone, that concludes the awards for this evening. Enjoy dinner.
Thank you very much, Abby, and congratulations to all recipients. So we're now going to take a pause in the business session. We will serve dinner, and I ask that everybody enjoy your dinner. Afterwards, I will come back up to the front, and we will draw the winning tickets for the ASHRAE RP raffle. And George, would you like to come up?
Would this be an opportunity I could say a couple words?
Absolutely. Please welcome George Morris-Gallen to the stage.
Am I at the mic now? Well, 50 years and 60 years, certainly ASHRAE changes drastically. I'm always just so amazed at the activities that you participate in and what you're doing, especially compared back to the 60s. I got two little stories I'm going to tell you. I keep in touch with your oldest living chapter president, Ian Patterson, and he sends his best wishes to you, although he hasn't been able to return. But go back to the fall of 1959, we organized a chapter bus tour to Carrier in Syracuse. And the trip over was quite uneventful. But when our tour was over and dinner was over, there was a club in Syracuse at the time that had some entertaining dancing shows. We were given 1 hour to visit the club, but to get 40 people back on the bus at one time became a difficulty. And then we get it half full and then go back and then people be getting rid of it. Many people had brought refreshments from the bar with them, but that was all long gone by the time the bus was out of Syracuse. So we had the idea to take up a collection, and we'd stop in Pulaski and buy some beer. And Ian and I did this, and it didn't matter what amount you contributed, there was no change given back. But we stopped in Pulaski and went into this little bar, and the bartender was sitting with his feet up watching television and said, "You got any beer?" He opened two big fridge doors, and we said, "We'll take it." And I don't know how much beer we had, but it was a lot. And we were at the front of the bus distributing the beer, and someone about halfway back stood up and said, "Ian, throw me a beer," and it was cans. And Ian, I think, tried to throw him a nice spiral pass, but just as the can went out of his hand, Rudolph Jutzelsberger was in the seat right in front of the chap, and he stood up. And the beer hit him dead center of the floor. So each time I talk to Ian, he wants to know how Rudy is. So anyway, I hope you have as much fun in your endeavors in ASHRAE as we did, and the friendships you make are blood-fasting. I don't know. Thank you very much.
Very much, George, and glad to hear that you guys knew how to have fun. So like I said, we're going to take a break in the business session, we'll have dinner, and then afterwards we will continue the business session where we will call in the new board of executive. Thank you. Hi again, everybody. Sooner or later, we all knew that I'd be interrupting dinner. But I hope you enjoyed the dinner. We are going to continue with the rest of the business session. And before I call Steve Meads up to do nominations of the new executive involved, I'd just like to leave a few departing remarks. This past year has truly flown by. I mean, it does, it's cliche, it sounds like just yesterday, it feels like just yesterday that I was standing up here, but it's remarkable how quickly it has gone. I'm truly honored to have had the chance to serve you as your chapter president and to work alongside such a dedicated and hard-working group of volunteers. We are all very lucky to have such a strong chapter. We're not a very big chapter in terms of numbers, but we are a very big chapter in terms of spirit, in terms of dedication, and in terms of the effort that we put into ASHRAE. It was amazing to me to see other chapters at the society level, and when I compare the Ottawa-Valley chapter to, Kansas City or some of the larger chapters in the United States, yes, we have a significantly smaller membership base, but we are actually looked upon by the other chapters as a big chapter. And that's a testament to the work that we do, to the effort and the dedication that all of our volunteers, all of you put into our chapter. So thank you, everybody, for your support. With that, I'm going to call upon Steve Moons to come up, but no, I'm sorry, that happens later. All right. I hope that you will all join me in wishing Aaron Dodson the very best of success as we move into his presidential year. With that, I'll call upon Steve Moons. And for those of you who are concerned about the RP raffle, it is still happening. That will just take place after Aaron's speech. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. It's not on my phone. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Steve Moons, and with Abby Saunders, I'm the chair of the nomination committee. And it gives me great pleasure tonight to perform the installation for the executive of the Ottawa-Valley chapter year 2019-2020. It's important to remember that ASHRAE is an engineering technical society. It's organized to advance the arts and sciences of the engineering of heating, ventilation, air conditioning, refrigeration, and to serve humanity and promote a sustainable world. We want to remember that the founding principles of a society and to assist those individuals charged with providing the leadership for the year ahead. The accomplishments of ASHRAE's objectives require the devoted efforts of thousands of members to contribute their time and talents to the activities of the society. Many ASHRAE members who have made substantial contributions to society are here. We brought many of them up to lead the chapter in years past, but to echo Dan's comments, and I think every past president would say the same, that it was only able to be done with the support of the people that helped them, that were on the committees, that were committee members, and right down to the members themselves who got involved. A lot of what we do is for the members, but it's only successful when the members ask for it and then participate. So it really is a great thing to look at and see Button every chair tonight and the waiting list at the door to get in for what I think is going to be an exceptional presentation, but more than that, kind of celebration of our last chapter year. The officers of the Board of Governors of this chapter, who are about to be installed, are accepting a highly important responsibility to serve during the ensuing term of office. You have elected them to their offices. You also have the responsibility to help them in the conduct of the affairs of this chapter. To make this chapter an effective contributor to ASHRAE and to accomplish its objectives requires the coordinated efforts of all the members of the chapter. Participation in chapter and society activities will reward you in your knowledge of the industry, will enhance your professional growth as you serve this community and the society. As members, it's your responsibility to provide your time and talent to serve when called, and to contribute your interest, abilities, and constructive criticism to the building of a better chapter and society for the service of the general public and of our profession. As is true in any organized society, the authority of the direction of the affairs of the society is delegated to the officers and governors who are elected by the members. And it's now my privilege to present, install, and invest those who are to serve our chapter in the next society year. For the office of Chapter President, Aaron Dodson. The general leadership of the chapter is entrusted to you. You will act as chair of the Board of Governors, act as the Chief Executive Officer, and be part of all committees. As Chief Executive Officer of the chapter, it will be your responsibility to see that the policy directives of the society and of your Board of Directors are carried out. You are the one to whom the members of the chapter can and will direct their criticisms of the chapter policies and activities regarding the operations of this chapter. The service of President of the Ottawa-Valley chapter carries with it a great honor, a real responsibility, and a lot of hard work. Do you promise to fulfill the duties of the responsibilities of your office as specified in the Manual of Chapter Operations?
I will.
On behalf of the chapter members, I am very pleased to install you as chapter president and wish you every success in your term of office. For the office of President-elect, Adam Moons. As Principal Assistant to the President, you will at all times be prepared to assume the duties of the President should the President be unable to attend your chapter or board meetings, and also other such duties as may be delegated to you. Do you promise to fulfill these duties of your office as specified in the Manual for Chapter Operations?
I will.
On behalf of the chapter members, I am pleased to install you as the officer of President-elect for the Ottawa-Valley chapter. For the office of Chapter Treasurer, Adrienne Matane. Adrienne, it will be your duty to prepare the budget, receive all monies, pay all authorized accounts, and give due accounting financially whenever you are called upon. Do you promise to fulfill the duties of your office as detailed in the Manual of Chapter Operations?
I will.
On behalf of chapter members, I am pleased to install you in the office of Chapter Treasurer for the Ottawa-Valley chapter. For the office of Chapter Secretary, Brian Dickinson. It will be your particular responsibility to keep due records of meetings, attend to correspondence, and to be an aid for the senior officers of the chapter. Do you promise to fulfill the duties of your office as specified in the Manual of Chapter Operations?
I will.
On behalf of chapter members, it is my pleasure to install you in the office of Chapter Secretary for the Ottawa-Valley chapter. For the Board of Governors. The following chapter members have been elected as governors for the Ottawa-Valley Chapter Board for the Society Year 2019-20. Mike Swain. Jacob Huff. Celine Darabo. Peter Shaw Wood. And Joe Delaval. So despite only having 2 of them, I love our chances going forward. Because of your demonstrated interest and activity in society affairs, your fellow members have elected you to represent them on the Board of Governors. It will be your responsibility to meet as a board, to deliberate and take action on any matters that come before it. Since the Board of Governors is the governing body of the chapter, it is an honor and a privilege to serve on it. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this activity and install you as members of the Board of Governors for the Ottawa-Valley chapter. Fellow ASHRAE members and guests, this concludes the installation activities. Please join me in welcoming your new chapter executive, and remember they need and deserve your support. And with that, Mr. President, here is your gavel.
I feel worthy.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Steve. And congratulations to the new and returning board and governors and executive. I'd like to welcome Ryan Dickinson as our chapter secretary. Ryan's been involved in our chapter for a few years now. And he's been very eager and very anxious to be a part of our chapter. He's been taking on a lot of responsibilities as chapter historian, also taking care of the website, and now secretary. So thank you very much, Ryan, for being involved in our executive. Mike Swain for joining our Board of Governors. Mike's been involved in our chapter for many years. He has a wealth of knowledge. He's a past president, so he's a great addition to our Board of Governors as our senior advisor. So thank you to Mike Swain. I feel that both these individuals are very good additions to our chapter. I also want to thank Chris Frawley for being part of our board for the last 5 years. Your dedication and support has been much appreciated, and we continue to look for your advice in the future if we need to. Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you.
I look forward to working with all our volunteers for the next chapter year and continuing the success of previous years. ASHRAE is a volunteer organization, and our chapter relies on our volunteers to succeed each year. Our volunteers form 22 different committees within our chapter. I would like to take a moment to recognize our volunteers that help make our chapter possible, some of which take on multiple roles. Each month we get to recognize our executive and our board of governors, like Dan, Adam, Adrian, Chris, Joe, Jacob, Selena, and Peter. But I just want to take this opportunity to recognize our committee chairs and our members within our chapter that make our chapter possible. So I'd like to mention Sandy Taylor, Adam Graham, Evans Mudawa, Abby Saunders, Andrew Brown, Steve Moons, Colleen Fox, Rod Lansfield, Michael Callahan, Elizabeth Primo, James Patey, David Michelin, Jordan Hansen, George Mamari, Frank Ban, and Robert Lefebvre. Thank you very much. I also want to thank Stan Milross, who always offers to be our MC at our social events, and to Kathy Godden, who's our unofficial Toastmaster for our May meeting for our past residents. So thank you very much for standing up, Kathy. Much appreciated. I'd also like to welcome our new volunteers for our next chapter year. So we have 5 new volunteers that offer to help our chapter continue our success. So I'd like to welcome Zarna Kakadia, Jason Bursell, Josh Bourbonaire, Alex Lapointe, and Trevor Thompson. Thank you very much. To conclude this chapter year, I would like to recognize Dan Redmond as serving president and kind of go over some of the highlights for our chapter year. This year has been a great chapter. Our program's been fantastic. I feel we've delivered a great technical program. We even had one meeting, it was Thursday this year, it was kind of outside the norm, which had a great turnout, so that's something that we might look to in the future, is having meetings on different dates. We were fortunate to have 2 society presidents attend our meetings this year, Bjarne Olsen and Sheila Hayter. We continue to have multiple seminars every year, so this year we had 2 seminars. We continue to make use of the ASHRAE Distinguished Lecturer Program by offering highly technical lectures to our chapter meetings. And we also continue our member social events. So we have our golf, our bowling events, and curling. And also our annual career fair, which is always very important to us and a very great turnout for our students and members. For research promotion, it's been a great year. We've actually been awarded the Williams J. Collins Award for the 2nd year in a row. This is a society level award, which is awarded to an individual who excels in ASHRAE RP. So this year, Dan Redmond was awarded this award, and last year it was Adam Graham. So this is a society level award that recognizes our chapter for leading the research promotion campaign. So thank you to those 2 individuals for showcasing our chapter for RP. Thank you guys. If you look at the last 5 years for research promotion, we've raised $225,000 in the last 5 years for ASHRAE research from the Ottawa chapter. And if you look at society, they match every dollar that we raised from 4 to 1. So almost $1 million was contributed because of the Ottawa chapter to local research in Canada. Also, a very important thing this year for RP is the money we've raised through a lot of our chapter events like golf tournaments and a lot of social events. We've raised enough money to fund our endowment, which is the ASHRAE Scholarship. So this was a $60,000 endowment where it's basically perpetual. The annuity, which is 5%, which amounts to $3,000 annually, gets awarded to a student who's in their 2nd year of post-secondary. So this year, we actually awarded our first society chapter scholarship to a student from Carleton University for $3,000. So it's a very important event for us this year. And that's something that we're going to continue every year. From a student activity perspective, something new that we started this year is working with K-12, and our student activity chair is working with local school boards to expose them to ASHRAE by offering them tech talks, offering site tours, visits, to get them to know what ASHRAE is and what our industry is all about. So that's something that we started this year that we're going to continue working on. We also are judges for the Ottawa Regional Science Fair, so that's something that we continue to do every year. And we also provide technical resources for local universities, so tech talks. When we have society individuals or distinguished lecturers in, we always make sure they talk to the local universities and colleges. And also very important to us is students attending our monthly meetings, and we comp the meals for them so they can make it out. From a membership perspective, we have 40 new members this year, which is great for our chapter. It's a net increase for our membership. So right now we sit at 436 members for our chapter. About a third of our members are EA members, which means they're 35 and under. So it's very good for our chapter. It's very strong, very young, and stable chapter for us. We have a lot of social events which attract our younger members. So this year we had events like axe throwing, billiards, archery tag, and we even attended a red blacks game. So that's something that we continue to work on, is make sure that our EA members are well looked after. We also provide opportunities for our EA members in professional development through society, and this is funded by our chapter, and that's through the contributions of our membership. For government affairs, we still continue to work on Day in the Hill. We meet with local MPs to create awareness with ASHRAE, and that's something that we work on annually. From a history perspective, we're still documenting all of our videos, our pictures. Like you see with Brian today, he showcased a video from our 40th anniversary, which has a lot of chapter presidents talking about their chapter years. And there's even videos we have from seminars. There's one video that we have Ross from his presidential year through a chiller seminar. So it's something you should look at because it's very interesting to see chiller technology from then versus now. So it's very interesting. So that's kind of a recap of our chapter year. Every year we kind of add on. For example, next year we're going to be looking at women in engineering. It's a new initiative for us. And something that Adrian's going to be taking on, where she's going to do a lot of social events with women in engineering and create awareness. And there's other events that we're going to bring forth to our chapter that provides value to our membership. So yeah, so with further ado, I'd like to welcome Dan to the podium to receive his certificate of appreciation and his presidential pin, and officially induct him into the past presidents. This is a certificate. This is a small token, thanks to the chapter, from the ASHRAE Society President, Sheila Hayter, and Executive Vice President, Jeff Littleton, presented to Daniel Redeman with gratitude for your selfless support and service to the Ottawa-Valley chapter. I promise I won't screw this up.
It is harder than it looks.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, actually. See?
See, it looked easy. I didn't think I did that.
Ow.
What does it say? Thank you.
Alright. And everybody loves an ASHRAE story. Whenever we go to regional events through society, they always ask us, how did you get involved in ASHRAE? So I'd like to share with you guys how I got involved in ASHRAE. Over 16 years ago, I attended my first ASHRAE event, which was the ASHRAE Career Fair at Ottawa University. At the time, I had no clue what the Ottawa chapter was. It was actually the person who hired me at this career fair brought me to my first meeting, which was the May meeting in 2003, when Lan Chi received her presidential pin. I remember it very vividly. At the time, I was a recent graduate and felt intimidated to attend, but soon realized how welcoming everyone was to ensure I was not excluded. Soon after, I became a member of the local chapter and started to volunteer as part of the grading committee with Ray Young. He was a member who, first person I remember offering a candy was Werther's Original. It was Ray Young, very well-liked member. And through Through years, I took on more responsibility with various other roles through program, history, started working on the board, and obviously now to executive. Never would I have thought I would be standing here as your chapter president. I encourage everyone to make new members or students feel welcomed, as they too could be our next chapter president. I just want to thank everyone who supported me, encouraged me, and allowed me the time to be part of this chapter, something I'm truly passionate about. In closing, I would like to thank the past presidents who are here tonight in their contribution in building the chapter to what it is today. I look forward to contributing to our chapter's success as your chapter president for 2019-2020. Thank you. Is this a good time for me to do the raffle draw?
I believe this is
All right.
the perfect time.
So we get Martin Singh to draw the lucky winner. So tonight we raised $840 for ASHRAE research. So the first draw we're going to do is for 4 red black tickets. They're field level club seats in the north stands. It's June 1st against Hamilton, and also includes $100 in addition to the food services that are provided in the club level. So, Martin, draw the lucky winner.
So the number is, actually it seems a little misprinted here, so it's not here.
Oh my.
So 98. That is really misprinted here. So
Does somebody have an 8, 6, 7, 8 maybe? Oh, jeez.
6, 7, 8.
Somebody
this
have
really
like,
isn't just our bad eyesight. It really
does
is.
somebody have a messed up number?
Yeah. But I don't think that's.
Looks like 6, 7, 8 might be the last 3 digits.
No, I don't have some.
All right, for me, President, make a call.
All right. Misprint.
So the other one isn't the same. So.
Yeah.
So this is much better.
There you
Okay.
go.
So 987-6612.
There we go. All right, one more draw. So we have 2 more red black tickets. They donated by Don Week, so Lanchi, I know the game opener, 2 tickets?
Yeah.
Okay. So game opener, 2 tickets. Lanchi will provide the tickets to the winner. Yeah.
And the number is 842-2589.
Hey, Chris.
We're sort of interpreting the numbers there.
Good job. Lanchi will
Okay, perfect.
provide Chris, yeah. Awesome. Good.
I won't do that.
This time I'd like to welcome Martin Singh. Over the past 11 years at WSP, Martin has applied his passion for design, resource conservation, and technology to delivering enduring sustainable solutions for his clients. In the process, his vision and leadership contributed to elevating WSP both locally and nationally to one of the top sustainable teams in Canada. Having recently played a key role in shaping the federal government's policies on sustainability, carbon, and climate action, Martin is now focusing his passion to implementing the government's vision to the rehabilitation of Canada's most significant and iconic building, Centre Block. Centre Block is a vivid example of Canadian confidence in the future, forged in a time of war a century ago. Centre Block is home to the nation's federal parliament and a symbol of the country's commitment to democracy and the principle of freedom. It is the place of work for parliamentarians and their staff, and the centerpiece of Parliament Hill, the country's most significant gathering place for public expression and celebration. This presentation will allow us to see a glimpse of a truly remarkable project that is shaping Parliament Hill. Martin?
Thank you.
assist us in our summer planning meeting. Also, Adam talked about the golf tournament coming up this June 25th. If you're interested, please register. And also, one thing to mention, this June 24th, our member Darrell Boyce will be sworn in as Society President at the Kansas City meeting. So if you do see Darrell, please wish him well for his upcoming nomination as President. And he will be joining us this September for our program meeting to deliver his presidential theme. So you'll see a blast pretty soon to sign up for the September meeting. It's going to be at location not here, it's going to be somewhere else, and it should be a pretty large event. With that said, that wraps up our 2018-2019 chapter year. So everybody have a great summer, and hopefully we'll see you all in September. Thank you.